I was in San Francisco a few months ago before a concert, and so I was hanging out at a coffee shop. And I was sitting outside on the patio, and someone, or these two women walk out, and one's about probably in her 50s, and one is probably in her 30s, and somehow we start chatting, and they ask me, well, what are you here for? I said, oh, I'm here in town for a concert. Oh, great, you know, come if you can, and all the different stuff. And then the woman who was sort of in her 50s said, oh, well, I used to work in the music industry. And I'm like, oh, really? That's great, you know. And she said, yeah, I used to work with Elton John. I'm like, that's wonderful. You know, I have some friends who work for Elton right now, and we started chatting. And now, again, it's outside, and it's on the patio. It's right on the street, a busy street. So there's a lot of background noise, and there's a lot of cars going by, and people and dogs barking and everything. And so, and she says, she kind of leads in a little bit and says something that I can't understand what she says. I'm like, excuse me, what did you say? I was a little bit confused, and she leans in a little closer, and she says something that sounds like, I'm Tanya Jantzen. And I thought, well, that name sort of sounds familiar, maybe I should know it. And I'm like, but I'm sorry, what did you say? And she leans in a little closer, and she's like, I'm Tiny Dancer. I'm sure the look on my face was probably the most patronizing thing she'd ever seen. Because I mean, who at one time in their life hadn't felt like, you know, I'm Tiny Dancer? There's a whole slew of people from that era who swear that they're Tiny Dancer. And so I'm like, oh really, that's great, you know, thanks for the song, you know. So it was just one of those really, really funny comic moments. And she was totally serious, and I just was like, oh, that's wonderful, you know, say hi to Elton for me. And of course I have, you know, Almost Famous, the movie, going through my head as this is happening. And it was just one of those things that's like, you know what, only in San Francisco. Is that you're going to be on the street and you're going to meet, you know, Tiny Dancer.